Okay, here we go. 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 We are now going live, I think. It's preparing the live stream.
We are live.
You are. Apparently, we're live.
I see us on Substack.
Some strange reason. Okay, since we're here, everybody else sees us. You could probably tell that we're still having some issues with our how should I say our with our setup. So we are going straight forward from Zoom and all of that to talk to y'all and say hey to everybody. This is Antifascism O.G. and I'm Daryl Lamont Jenkins, and I don't see me. What happened to me?
I see you, Daryl.
Okay. All right, because right now my computer is just saying preparing live stream from Zoom.
I'm watching us. I see us. We are
iDevox on my end is not seeing us not seeing us at all. On my whatchamacallit.
I wonder if we're
Oh,
live.
now I am.
You see it now. Okay. Okay.
No, it's still mad at me. I mean, scheduled RTMP live. Okay, you see it. There's a lot of things that I'm just gonna have to fix. And but as long as everybody else sees us, I'm happy. Because that means you see the shirt.
You're an outlaw, Daryl.
Yes, we're outlaws. And that's what we're gonna talk about today. It was only a matter of time before he tried to put on this stunt.
I've got the picture right here. I'll put it up.
Yeah, because I mean, bottom line is we're not stunts. Oh yeah, we're gonna be looking at that in a minute. But as you can see, he's pleased to inform our many USA patriots. Basically, whenever they say patriots, they're not talking about much of the country. It's not because we aren't patriots. It's just because he's talking to a particular crowd, his MAGA crowd. That's what he means, not anybody else but that crowd. So he's pleased to inform them that I am designating Antifa, although he probably pronounces it Antifa, a sick, dangerous, radical left disaster for them as a major terrorist organization. For those who don't know, I'm having a hard time talking every now and again because I had a stroke too. and I got jammed up on the word terror, still am. And let me continue. And I will be strongly recommending, he isn't doing it, he's recommending that those funding Antifa be thoroughly investigated in accordance, oh boy, and with the highest legal standards and practices. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Fortunately, the highest legal standards don't work for him. And he's going to try to do whatever he's going to do, but we will fight back. And that's the real about it. I mean, I would definitely say take it seriously by all means. But by the same token, also have to recognize there's only but so much that he can really, or anybody can do. You cannot, as they say, outlaw an idea. I know he's trying to to threaten everyone's First Amendment rights, and we're going to be talking about that in a minute. But the truth of the matter is, I'm good. and we're all good. If I mean that he cannot make us say he cannot tell us that we're not allowed to be anti-fascist. I mean, basically, what they've been trying to do for years now has to make you criminalize you if you're anti-fascist or if you believe that Black Lives Matter, and both don't work. But it is going to take us making sure we tell them and ensure, I mean, basically reinforce the fact that it won't work. And we, like I said, we got a lot to talk about today. We got a lot to talk about today.
You know, there's nothing in US law that allows for the designation of a domestic terrorist organization, even if, and you know, Antifa is not an organization, it's an idea, like you said. So there's nothing in the law that allows this kind of designation. But the reality is that we are past the rule of law right now. It doesn't, you know, he has no regard for the law. And I think you're right, Daryl. It's going to make it more dangerous for anybody. So anybody who opposes him, who he dislikes, he's going to say they're Antifa and they're a terrorist. So I think that's the dangerous thing, and it is going to take everybody saying we are Antifa. I think that's the pushback.
Yeah, and there was something else that I wanted to show everybody that we that I was seeing on is this, nope, that's not it. Um there was something else that I saw online today that is just really comical, just incredibly comical. And I'm gonna put that in the whatchamacallit, in the group, in this chat in a minute, in our little discussion. So apparently everybody on the right is feeling their oats, and they think that they can just basically protect I mean basically intimidate everybody, or most importantly try to keep people from basically living their lives, including anybody who they disagree with politically and all of that. I mean, it's the whole thing with it's all coming from the routine that somehow this happened, as I was saying in a TikTok video. They think that they can do what they did after 9/11, where they can just step on everybody's rights and beliefs, and if you say something that they don't like, they can just shut you up. They can basically cancel you, as the words will be. And there is an effort on the part of some of them, because apparently they figured out that we are not exactly, they're not the only ones that have guns. You normally hear them tell you that they are the only ones that have guns and all of this nonsense. Well, they don't really believe that. And and this was the funniest thing, because like I said, this is in one of my signal chats, and I'm gonna share this right quick. And let me see here. Let me see this thing here. Apparently, they want you to basically tell on any left wingers or anti-white terrorists that are using training ranges, and you look out for all of these symbols and or phrases that you hear them say, and if spotted, take pictures, record names, trespass them from the premises, and whatever. Call law enforcement. There are no laws being broken.
And tell me you're a Nazi without saying you're a Nazi. I mean, like, we have a swastika, and that's the symbol, you know, the swastika being put in the trash. That's a symbol of their enemy. punch a Nazi. That's a phrase to be on the lookout for. Like, these people are Nazis.
And it's funny too, because one of the phrases is "make racists afraid again." I was actually going to wear the shirt that has that on there, but I figured this one was a little bit more, I guess, to the point. But
Still there.
so I don't know about these folks, but at least you got this guy's name here. Do you see his name up there right now, or do you have something over it?
Or Legman?
Yeah. So at least we know this guy's a fascist. Now, whether or not he's using his real name is another story. But we got this drama. For the record, I'm carrying now. Because you guys out there on the right are sitting there talking about civil war and trying to come at us. I don't believe you'll pull the stunt because that's kind of illegal, but that never stopped y'all before. So I just wanted to make sure that if I have to, I have to. So, but the truth of the matter is, if they're afraid of this, if they are at the point where they are afraid of us protecting ourselves, that actually says something about, and I'm gonna take this down. That says a lot about how effective we are. And we're going to have to be a lot even more effective. I mean, we were going to talk about also, we'll get to the free speech stuff in a minute, but we also want to talk about the fact that they know that we're going out there to train. They know that we're going out there and be prepared for the world that's ahead. And they're trying to keep us in that spirit from being educated. And in the course of being educated, that means, in particular, about our history. And we're coming up on, I'm not really sure what, it was 1859. Don't know how many, it was 160 years. It's the 16th is going to be August, I'm sorry, October 16th is going to be the anniversary of Harper Ferry, of his raid, of John Brown's raid. And and Rod, I'm looking at I just glanced up on my file cabinet, and it just went right to the bumper sticker that says John Brown didn't do anything wrong, which is true. But Trump thinks he does. He did. And he especially thinks it's wrong to tell us, tell everybody what he did and why he did it. And that's what we got to talk about, because he's trying to basically trying to erase Black history, but especially when it comes to Harbor Ferry. So we got to do something about that as well. This is a picture that is very famous, and I'm gonna let Beth talk about it.
Yeah, it's often called the scourged back. I think sometimes it's called poor Peter. But this was an enslaved man who was able to escape to freedom and work with the abolitionists to try to abolish slavery. And he had been beaten in slavery and allowed the photographing of his back after he was free as an illustration to tell people, like, this is what it's like. This is the reality, the ugliness of this. And one of the things I read said this was probably the most shared photo in the pre-Civil War and Civil War, during Civil War years, as abolitionists used it to tell the story of the horrors of slavery in the efforts to abolish it. And you know, I was trying to think, like, all the times throughout my education in history, this was kind of an illustration of the history. It's in so many textbooks. It's in so many different places. Trump has ordered the National Park Service to remove this image that is at the heart of the American story. Um,
Now, oh, go on, because I'm going to tell a little bit of history about Peter. That's whose
well, take
or
it away.
sometimes they call him they sometimes call I'm getting this from Wikipedia, by the way. So his name was Peter. He fled. He was able to escape um in 1863. He was the quote unquote legal property of Captain John Lyons in Louisiana. That's the deep south, by the way, y'all. I mean, but this is also during the civil war, so might have been a little bit easier. But normally you are not, once you go down south, it's hell trying to get to free yourself. But he did it, and he it says here, poor Peter was the name of the Negro with the on with the scars on his back. And like I said, this picture went everywhere. I'm actually looking to see what had happened to Peter as time gone along, but I have to I'm just thinking about looking at it now. Now they also call him Gordon. But they say that that's two different people. I would want to look at this a little bit more. And by the way, I just did what they don't want you to do. I never really got interested into finding out the history because that was all we needed to see was that scarred back. That was all they needed to back in the day. But I think it'll be interesting to see how his life was after, and I'm gonna take a look at that, and I'm gonna bring it up probably next week or something like that if we're not talking about something else. But that's the thing. I mean, I grew up with a top teacher, with a teacher for a father and a mother. My father was really, 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 really into history. He's the one to introduce, and he's not political. Understand this. He was never political. I mean, one of his biggest um people that he loved, one of the people that he loved was Iacocca, and even heard speakers, people like Getty speak and all of that. That was his thing. But like I said, he was also about history. He introduced me to the book Lies My Teacher Told Me. And that book is somewhere on that shelf. But that book was, I mean, he showed me that book came out probably after I was an adult, while I was in the military, which probably helped me to get out. So
One
but
of the about
go.
with Peter's image when I look at it is the hell Peter went through to be able to tell his story during his lifetime. And
Mhm.
the determination, like, I'm going to tell this story because it has to be heard. And here we are in 2025, and they're still trying to silence Peter. Um,
I can never get over how much um rent how free how right oh boy how rent free we live in the racist's mind. Even when we were talking about that's dispatching of Charlie Kirk, for some reason we got that smoke and we didn't have anything to do with it when they started going after the HBUs. It- and it was like, and it always seems like whatever it is they're doing. I mean, anytime we are brought up in the news or something or in conversation at all, they flip their minds. So now they think that they can do something to us and to basically rectify what happened in the 60s or something, 50 and 60s. I mean, but it's not going to work. It's really not going to work. That's one of the reasons. I mean, there's a reason why they don't come after us directly. It's always around other ways that they try to come at us. Case in point, they're trying to get rid of the any kind of history, if they can. At least Trump is, his people is. And bear in mind too, a lot of this is coming from Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller was a friend of Richard Spencer. Spencer. Oh, how can I not say Spencer?
You got
But
it.
he was a friend of Richard Spencer. And when you think about it, and he also brought another white supremacist named Peter Primlow, who incidentally speaks at the Amrin conference that we always talk about. The next one is going to be in November. So basically, he's been a white supremacist, even despite the fact that he's Jewish. And that's where all of this is coming from. And that would also explain why you never really see him come out and actually speak to the public. He comes out to the public, all hell breaks loose. When it did, take a look at what happened when they did come out. They did get protests during the whole thing in DC when it was walking around when the National Guard was out there. I mean, he caught a little bit of hell and started complaining and crying and about what was it, old hippies and all of that, or something like that. So he's afraid too. I mean, but because he really is the one that is pushing all this, also banning, if you want to say so. But that brings us to the other thing that we really got to talk about. They're also trying to shut us up. Remember, you're not allowed to be anti-fascist. You are not to be about you can't be about Black lives. You cannot talk the history that they don't want you to talk about. And most importantly, as we are seeing, you are not allowed to insult Trump. And that is causing a lot of issues, to underscore a fact. And I'm glad you put this up. I didn't even know you had this. But explain what it is.
Get this share. I hadn't thought about it until you started speaking, and I was like, yeah, this is important. I think it just speaks to the reality. Like, we are in a fascist regime now. This is the February 4th, 1939 New York Times, and the headline says Goebbels ends careers of 5 Aryan actors who made witticisms against the Nazi regime. So these were the late night host of the day who cracked a joke about the Nazis, and Goebbels took them out.
And when you look at that and you think about what's going on with not about Jimmy Kimmel, and also not Peter, listen to me, Stephen Colbert, you look at this coming back. Hell, I mean, and I know a lot of people out there on the right is getting all pissed off because we keep on comparing them to Nazis.
If it
Sorry,
acts like a Nazi, it's probably a Nazi.
yeah, just like when you guys are basically trying, just like they're trying to make Charlie Kirk into the new latter-day Horst Wessel, or Vessel as they would say in German. Look him up. Basically, he was killed in, I think it was 1930, by leftists. He was straight up Nazi. He was a part of the party. And his death they basically used as a propaganda tool to go after everybody that was the Nazis enemy. And that's exactly what they're doing with whatchamacallit, with Charlie Kirk. And basically what you were seeing, I'm just waiting for the song. The Charlie Kirk lead. I'm just waiting for that. I know there's
You,
some rapper out there that has some song about him that everybody's clowning on, but no, there will be a song at some point.
it
Uh,
really speaks to the hypocrisy of everything they say they believe in. Like Kirk was supposed to be this great First Amendment advocate, but they've spent the last week obliterating the First Amendment, obliterating free speech, obliterating free press. They're even going after freedom of religion.
yep.
They are all about the Second Amendment, gotta, the right to bear arms. But they are talking more and more about taking the right to bear arms away from people who disagree with them. Everything they say is hypocrisy. They don't intend to protect free speech. They don't intend to protect the right to bear arms. They're fascists. They're Nazis.
But we will. And that's the important thing. And I think it's one of the things that hasn't, well, the Palestinians have been in the street for about 2 years. So I don't want to say that we haven't been out there, but in this case, we really need, I mean, they're basically doing all kinds of rallies that some folks are actually counter protesting, but they're doing rallies and stuff for Charlie, vigils all over the country for Charlie Kirk. If they're coming out in the streets, we got to come out in the streets, especially now we know that they are really trying hard to come after our First Amendment rights. I mean, free speech is for everybody. I mean, the main reason why people defended Nazis, the free speech of neo-Nazis, is because it threatens ours if we don't. Turns out they took it anyway because everybody forgot while they was defending the Nazis free speech, they forgot to talk about that fact that they were Nazis. And that's one of the things they basically will come after everybody else who would. That's the problem that we had in Charlottesville, as a matter of fact. We kept on saying that we did not think it would be a good idea for them to be in that park. Before we knew the problem, we knew the situation that was going to come about, because they was telling us. They was telling us, hell, I mean, and that's one of the reasons. I mean, they said it at the Ameren conference that year.
It will be
But the
dramatic.
ACLU defended their freedom of speech. Okay, fine. That's what you want to do. That's what you do. Now we have a bunch of people that died from that
And
and
again,
hurt.
we can look at history and it happens over and over and over. The Nazis get, going back into the 30s, the Nazis get to march because of free speech. The anti-fascists come out and the police show up to protect the Nazis.
Exactly.
Stories over and over and over again.
And let me just qualify this by saying we're not saying that they don't have their freedom of speech. So pull that back, liberals. So, but what we are saying, you got to use yours. If they're going to be coming out like this, we got to come out like this. In the name of freedom of speech, I'm calling on everybody. Got to do it. We got to come out in the streets and hold like free speech rallies. We have to. I'm going to try to put together one. Small ones, large ones, whatever. Make sure that they hear what we are saying. I think that's the one thing that's missing on our while we're online arguing with them or doing our memes. That's the one thing that we haven't done. Now it's time to come out. Time to put together things that say straight up, you're not doing this. You are not doing this. And yeah, let them take their pictures. Take our pictures and record our names. I'm already on a list, on a kill list from Charlottesville. So I don't give a shit. So so the truth of the matter is, you're either going to fight for it or you're going to lose it. That's what we always told people before, and it's still true today. So everybody, I want if you guys are going to organize some sort of events, some sort of free speech effort, some sort of rally, what have you, let us know. We will promote it. We have a calendar on Itavox. Just submit the event when you get it together. We will do that. But bottom line is we got to come out. I think that Jimmy Kimmel will be just fine. I think he's gonna get his show back. If he doesn't get his show back, he's gonna be going somewhere else. That's all. That's all. I mean, the truth of the matter is you're not shutting him up. You're shutting him up. I mean, don't worry. Don't. I mean, everybody's sitting there talking about because I heard it from one of the congressmen yesterday in the video. It says next year we're the Democrats are going to have the House, and there's going to be a number of we're going to have all kinds of. He was saying this on the House floor. It says next year the Democrats are going to have the House, and we are going to have all kinds of hearings, and we are going to have subpoenas and things like that. My attitude on that is they were supposed to have it last year. Don't wait for the Democrats to do something. You start making the moves now. You are the ones that are threatened. They are not. Everything happens to you. But they will still have their jobs. They will still have their fundraisers. Unless they get primary next year. We'll see. But the bottom line is don't wait for somebody to ride on a white horse to save you. You save you. We protect ourselves. So that's the attitude I have about all of this. So bottom line is if you guys are going to be organizing events, feel free to let us know. You can also go to Antifa at onepeoplesproject.com and email us and let us know that you're doing something. Antifa. Hey, we've had that email for 25 years. Okay. All right. So it's all good. Before anybody even knew what the word was, at least the mainstream. But all right, it's 6 o'clock. We have, oh yes, by the way, we still need 3,000, no, 3,200. We still need that by July, I'm sorry, by October 31st, by Halloween. We still need that. So unfortunately, I can't put the GoFund link, but we'll put it underneath everything today. And so if while you're watching this video, the playback, just scroll down and you'll see all the links that you can go to. You can also, I can say straight up, onepeoplesprojects.com/donut. Donate. Not donut. Not donut. Not donut. Not donut. Not donut. I'm supposed to be a speaker. I'm a public speaker and I can't speak. I'm always going to be frustrated, folks. I know I'm always complaining about it whenever I have this thing, but damn it.
For somebody who uses words, though, Daryl, that's a hard thing, but you've come so far in recovering from the stroke.
I appreciate it, but damn, not far enough. There's still stuff that I need to talk about. And I'm doing a podcast, no left, huh?
That takes some courage, though, to just put that donation link in the chat for the live stream, so people should be able to access that.
Okay, excellent. So people can see it. Good. All right. I think we can probably wrap it up. And we also have to make sure that subscribe, y'all. Subscribe.
Yes. Free subscribers are welcome. We don't want to paywall this because This is the fight of our lives that we're in, and information is the way we're going to be able to get to the other side of this and start having the trials for all these horrible human rights abuses. I'm looking forward to that on the other side.
Yes,
Um,
we are. And this will never happen again after we get through all of this. It will not.
this time's not going to be like after the Civil War. We're going to finish the job this time.
There will not be any reconstruction. Not this time.
But if you can be a paid subscriber, that's greatly appreciated. It helps fund the work of One People's Project, which has been fighting fascism, which has been anti-fascist, which has been educating and advocating for the freedom and liberation of all people for 25 years, right, Daryl?
That's right. That's right. And Idavox is coming up on its 15th, its 10th anniversary on the 15th of October. The day after Charlie Kirk's and George Floyd's birthday.
Oh, I did not know
Yes, they share a birthday.
that.
How's that one?
Weird.
It's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess. I actually want to have a rally on that day. I actually want to have a rally, a free speech rally on that day. But if folks want to help me put that one together, I got ideas for that one. I got plans for that. So someone just wrote, it's okay. Somebody just gave me props on Skang on Signal. Skang. All right. All right. So, by the way, next week we will be on at 6 o'clock, not 5 o'clock, not 30.
Not next week, the week after. I got one
week after. Okay. All right. One more week. Okay. So 2 weeks from now, we'll be on at 6 o'clock. And we're going to have more guests. We're going to have more people on that's going to be kind of like guest hosts or probably permanent. Who knows what might happen as we go along. Doesn't just have to be us. We're just starting everything. And hopefully we'll be able to figure out all the all the bells and whistles work on here so I can stop worrying about technical issues. So
and I would
until then,
for those who I would say too, for those who are watching, if you have a story, an anti-fascist story, messages. We'd love to have you on. And if it's something where you can't make your face visible, we can try to present the story anonymously. But please reach out. We want to share your stories too.
By all means. And yeah, we like I said, we're gonna have some people on that. Maybe hopefully we can get some folks we're gonna have to have on Zoom because they're not in the country. But we will have but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. So all right, y'all. Later on, take care. This is the end. Peace. You know what? War.